And you're always free to maybe find more comfort as we sit and seek sustainability in our meditation. Let the skin of the face soften as you close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you today. Let your shoulders relax down the back. And take some cleansing breaths in and out. Let's focus on embracing change, breaking patterns and habits of our past, and moving forward in this new year. Today is a new day. This year is a new year. And it's really nice that this time of year offers us this beautiful, effortless intention that we can focus on. We'll focus on our breath for maybe 5 more breaths here, 5 to 7, before we come out of our meditation. And let's bring our hands to our heart before we close out of this. Just getting some heart energy going, feeling the beating of our heart, feeling the warmth of our hands on our heart, and connecting with that intelligence and that wisdom that emanates from our heart center. And letting that guide us through our class today. All right, friends, let's come on to our knees. If you have a lot of feedback in the knees, I do recommend sitting on a blanket or a block. You can slide something in between your heels and just sit down on that, and that cushions us quite a bit. This posture gives those ankles a nice little press. So we'll sit with that for a moment. Lifting the crown of our head. We're going to take our hands all the way out, palms up, big stretch. So just kind of lengthen, brought up a yawn. Reach those fingertips, maybe kind of angle from side to side a little bit, look up. And just really big stretch. And then we're going to take our hands to our shoulders. Pull the belly button back. We're going to twist kind of quickly here. Inhale left, exhale right. And it's going to be a swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Let your body sort of be carried in this fast breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale left, exhale right. All right, and then we're just going to relax for a moment now that we know what's ahead of us. It's kind of a strange thing. If you're not sitting on your knees, come to your knees so our heart is lifted. And welcome who just came in. Sorry, I can't see your name. So you're going to feel your rib cage twisting and see if we can begin to sense our lungs inside of our rib cage. When we twist left, the left lung is going to expand with breath. And when we twist right, our exhale is being pressed, and you're going to feel your right lung relax a little bit. Okay, so see if we can tune into that subtlety. Other than that, go ahead, get started, and stop whenever you start to feel uncomfortable or when you've had enough. I usually start getting cramps. I try to breathe through it for a little bit, and then I just immediately take my child's pose. So we'll take our hands to our shoulders and just swing, really build up that nice momentum. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nice. And try and keep your spinal column nice and vertical. So very little movement with the spine. It's twisting around the spine, keeping those hips and shoulders nice and stable. Nice. All right, I'm cramping up. I'm going to take my child's pose, taking my fist right into the lowest rib and folding forward. So there's a nice sandwich that's going to happen. Let your head be heavy. And we kind of massage that diaphragm a little bit. Let's take 5 more breaths. And we'll slowly roll on up back to a seated position. Let's cross our legs the weird way, the way you don't normally cross. And find a tall spine. We're going to take our right hand, grabbing the left side of our head. Gently draw your right ear to the right shoulder, keeping space between the right ear and right shoulder. And then we're going to take our left hand, wrap it around our torso, gently grab the right rib cage and gently pull in towards the midline. Notice sort of just that little it gives this pose, a little oomph of release. And then come on back up. We'll do that on the other side. Left hand grabs right side of your head, space between the ear and shoulder, left ear and shoulder, keeping space. Right hand wraps around, grabs our side body and hugs it towards the midline, towards the other way. Just a little push and pull here. And release. Come on out. Lovely. Let's take our right leg out nice and long. So take your right leg out and keep your left heel in. And we're gonna do a little bit of breath work before we come into head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. We're just gonna sweep our left arm up and over and lean very gently, so not too far here. And this is gonna be our inhale. And then the exhale, the hand relax and we relax our spine a little bit. And then we sweep, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Maybe we get bigger and fuller in these last three. Maybe we go a little bit deeper. Beautiful. And we'll take our fold forward, head to knee pose. You might want to take a block to your knee or something that we can rest our head on, but maybe not. Maybe that's not in the cards for us today. Let your breath flow. We'll stay for 5 more breaths. And we'll slowly come out. Nice and slow. So take your right foot and take it behind you, bending your knee. This brings us to deer pose. Now we're gonna try this 3 times. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but we're going to, without using our hands, hoist our hips up and balance on our knees. So like this, and we'll just do that 3 times. 1, and sit back down. 2, 3. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to shift over into our pigeon pose. So our right leg extends long, our left foot comes in front of us even more so, and then we're just going to spin onto that left hip. Now you can wedge something under your left hip if you want. You can take a block underneath your head, which is always a nice grounding option. And we'll stay for maybe 3 minutes or so. So making sure you're nice and comfortable. We'll enjoy our pigeon. Take that bow, take that surrender. And just relax. And if you're feeling a little bit too pressed, a little too smushed and too much sensation, build things around you, pillows, blankets, stools. Having something under your head really helps ground this posture. So take the time to do that because we are going to be here for another 2 minutes. Simply let the breath flow. Big breath in, big breath out, let out a cleanse, let out a sigh. And we have one more minute. Amazing job. We'll take 3 more breaths. And we'll slowly come out, rising nice and slow. And we're just going to shift over to our other leg. So the left leg is long this time, and our right heel is towards us. And we're going to inhale the right arm up and over. Exhale, relax. And do that a few times. Three more. Beautiful. Take your head to knee pose, maybe with supports, maybe not. We'll stay for quite a bit of time, so making sure you're comfy. Follow the breath as it flows in and out. Three more breaths. And we'll slowly come out. behind the tall spine. So our left foot is going to come behind us. We'll bend the knee, take your left foot behind you. We're in deer pose now. And from here, we're going to lift up and down 3 times. So without using your hands, I like to take them to prayer, but it's just kind of, you push down on both knees and lift your hips. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we're going to extend our left leg long and rotate so that we're stretching our right hip. You can slide anything you want underneath that right hip. You take your fold, take your bow, head down. And if, like I said, if you're feeling a little bit too much pressure, too much stretch, build the floor up to whatever needs support. And we'll stay for 3 minutes. Simply watching and letting the breath flow. A little bit longer. We'll take 10 more breaths here and then we're done. And we'll slowly come out of it. Slowly coming out and coming back to our cross-legged position for just a few more breaths. Let's try and slow our breath down. Notice the length of your breath and see if we can slow things down even more here. A slow and steady push and pull of the breath. So gentle you wouldn't ruffle a feather. All right, let's come back to our hero's pose on our heels. We won't be there for that long, so don't worry about needing too much support under you. We're going to take our right foot and place it right next to our left knee. So it's like the student pose, intentively listening to our teacher, not necessarily me. Left hand to left knee, right hand supports your head, your chin. We'll just stay for a moment in this. If we can sort of begin to sense a meditative state, that's really great here. The right hip should be fairly level with the left hip. So we do want that right hip nice and down. We'll take one more big breath here. Okay, and then we're going to push ourselves up into forward fold. So our hands can come in front of us, maybe with some support, and the left foot kicks off the floor to land next to the right. And give yourself some distance between right and left foot so they're not touching. Maybe rock back and forth a few times. Bend the knees a little bit. And we'll hang out in forward fold, getting this awesome, awesome sensation. All down the backs of the legs. Let your breath flow in and out your nose. All right, we're going to keep our left foot planted firmly on the floor, and then take your right knee to the floor for this variation of hero's pose on the other leg. Sorry, I'm a black blob today. Right hand to right knee, left elbow to left knee, head in hand. And we'll hang out for a few breaths. Maybe diving into that meditation that we started class with. One more breath here. Big breath in and out. All right, we're take forward fold now, except we'll kick off of our right leg, let it meet the left foot and fold forward, Uttanasana. We'll stay for a few more breaths. All right, we're gonna roll up to stand when you're ready. So slight bend in those knees and roll up. Arms heavy, head heavy. Come to stand. And just absorb this being vertical for a moment. Kind of shift back and forth on the feet, shifting your weight, maybe making circles. And then find stillness when you're ready. So this is also all part of our meditation practice, that circling to find that height, very similar to what we do seated. All right, we're going to take the backs of our hands and gently, without really, you don't have to touch yourself too much. We're just gonna lift our hands up the back like this, just like this. And then they come in front of us to prayer, and we exhale our hands through to prayer. It's a Qigong exercise, very simple. Inhale up, exhale down. So we're pulling energy up the back and then down the belly. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Nice job. Keep up the good work. Do this in your own pace, in your own style, in your own way. Let's do that maybe 5 more times. I'm on my last one. Find stillness and steady standing when you've had your fill. Okay. We're gonna do tree pose. So being on the firm floor might be best for us. Bouncing on your right foot first, or whichever one you wanna do. We're gonna pull our heel up as high as we can. We just don't want it on the knee. And our hands come to prayer. And focus on one spot. Gaze at it and stand steady. Maybe come back to an intention that you set. I set one for ourselves as a group today, focusing on letting go of the past and embracing change for the future. Letting go of bad habits and patterns we might have. We're trying to, it's a journey. We'll stay for 3 more breaths. Good, come on down. And we'll do the other leg. So standing on all 4 corners of that foot, pull your heel nice and high. We just don't want it on the knee. So if it's on the calf, that's totally fine. Hands come to prayer, and we'll focus on a spot. Maybe coming back to an intention. And we'll stay for 3 more breaths. Nice. Shake it out. Shake it out. Maybe jump up and down a little bit. Maybe press the tops of your feet to the floor. Roll the head and neck and shoulders one way, and then the other way. Lovely. All right, we're gonna come back to the floor and finish class on the floor completely. We're gonna do rabbit pose, so I recommend laying a blanket down on your mat. Lots of layers, preferably actually. Layers of blankets, nice and thick. And we're gonna come back to our knees. Our hands and knees. Let's just come to tabletop. Hands and knees, tabletop. Shift from side to side. And we're gonna take cat-cow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, good. All right, we're gonna, from the cat, which our rib cage is lifted, we're gonna take our head to the floor. Take your head all the way to the floor. And see if you could roll onto the back of your head a little bit more. You may need to walk your knees in and closer together. And you're just pressing your chin towards your chest, rolling onto the back of your head. Lots of pressure release in the neck and upper back. Do your best to breathe through your nose. And we'll take child's pose. Roll slowly. You can kind of massage your head as you come down. And take your head to your hands. Child's pose. Okay, let's take puppy dog. So the arms reach forward, elbows lift, hips lift up. And if your knees were together, you can take the knees a little bit wider again, and then drop your head between the arms towards the floor for puppy dog. Hands pressed down. Really lifting the elbows up, the shoulders lift. Okay, back to child's pose. So your favorite child's pose, maybe that means knees apart, toes together, arms forward, arms back. I've got my head rested on my hands. That's sort of my go-to. And we'll settle in child's pose for about 2 minutes because we deserve it. Breathe in and out through your nose. All right, we'll take 5 more breaths. All right, make your way onto your back. So however you want to get there, getting pillows around you, behind you, under your head. We'll come all the way down to our backs. And start with your feet on the floor, knees up. We'll reach our arms up overhead. And then relax your elbows so that they're like field goal posts. And drop your knees from left to right. And just sort of waking up the front body. Feeling the support of the floor. Letting that help us breathe a little bit more deeply, a little bit longer. Really massaging the quads, here, the thighs. So as you press each knee down, just kind of lifting the hip at the same time, pressing the knee down and getting a really good quad stretch. We need to open up our hip flexors. We haven't done a lot of that. So definitely focus on this for a few more breaths. All righty, big inhale, exhale, hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. We're gonna keep our right knee hugged in and extend your left leg long. And there goes our nice hip flexor opening that we might need. And just hold this. You can rotate both ankles a few times. Just really get that blood flow moving to every corner of our body, especially our legs here as we focus on the legs. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, we're gonna walk our hands up the back of the right leg, straighten the right leg, and stop maybe at the ankle. Maybe you make it all the way up to the foot, or maybe we're not even at the ankle, but just kind of pulling that leg and pulling our legs really into as much of a split as we can gather today. Relax the head back if you're ready to do that. If we lifted our head. Awesome. All right, and then we're just gonna slide our hands down the back of the leg, massaging it a little bit, and take your right foot back to the floor, left foot back to the floor. Let's reset with our cat stretches, arms like field goal posts, and knees drop from left to right. All right, left leg hugs in this time. Or sorry, big inhale, hug both knees in first. Hug both knees in, rock from side to side. And then hug your left knee in, right leg extends. Hold this for a few more long breaths. All right, now before we move on, rotate both your ankles if that was useful to you. Rotate your ankle a few times. Getting lost in the clouds. All right, now we'll reach our left leg up and walk your hands up the back of the leg until you reach the spot that feels good for you. You may want to pick your head up at first, and then we'll work on dropping our head and finding that really big split. Big for us, whatever that looks like. Big breath in and out. To come out of it, we'll just kind of slide our hands down the back of our leg with a little massage happening and take both feet to the floor. Cat stretch. Maybe let's settle with both of our knees towards the left, arms up like field goal posts. Let's stay here for several breaths. So we're windshield wiping. Yep, that's it. We're in it. And I like my arms up for a heart opener, but if you want to do something else with your arms, that's fine. But let's pause on one side. Let's stay. Let's stay for maybe 7 to 10 more breaths. Okay, other side. Draw the knees up and then down to the other side. And we'll stay. Once again, you can do whatever you want with your arms. I've got mine up overhead, kind of hanging slack on the floor. This helps open our heart as we open the hips. We'll take 5 more breaths. All right, come on out, nice and slow. Take any stretches you want to take or make. And we'll find Shavasana when you're ready. So if there's any last minute poses you want to do, maybe a happy baby, maybe we take some time here to really bundle up and build a little nest for ourselves. We've got a good 3 to 5 minute shavasana ahead of us. So taking your time to find that comfortable, sustainable posture and really get the most out of it. This is our time to absorb our hard work. And I know we probably didn't sweat today, but that's not really what hard work always means. We put a lot of mental energy into our classes. At least I try to, I like to. It's not easy to move slowly. It's not easy to be gentle with ourselves. So let's focus on that work that we put in, and we'll let it absorb through our whole body. Let it reach every corner, every nook, and every cranny. From the crown of your head, all the way down to the fingertips and the toes. Let your breath flow peacefully, easily, and naturally. Simply however it wants to flow. There's no more effort, no more trying. This posture is about letting go, surrender. Surrender to just being. Our heart is not concerned with the doing, but with being. And if we can circle back to our intention that we set at the very beginning of class, letting go of the past and moving forward into a future where we welcome growth and change. Today is a new day. This year is a new year. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Draw your head from side to side. And roll over to the right side of your body, resting your head on your arm like a pillow. This is a wonderful, beautiful posture for a little self-love, a little self-hug. Hold close to you the peace and comfort that you cultivated over the past hour in your practice. Hold that close to your heart and carry it with you as you come to sit upright, sitting tall, noticing any changes in the body and the breath. Notice any benefits of class. Take note of what those things are. I'm gonna Om. You can join me if you want. Big breath in, hands in prayer. Om. Bowing our heads in gratitude, namaste.